Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm the Crocheteer and today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this simple egg. It's a very quick and easy pattern to follow, so I hope you enjoy, and without further ado, let's get to the desk and start crocheting. To crochet the egg you are going to need a pair of scissors, a 4mm crochet hook, some stuffing, and the wool colour of your choice. I am going to be using a pale brown, but you can use whatever colour you like. To start off, we're going to do a slip knot, and we're then going to insert it onto the hook. Now we're going to do 2 chains. Now we're going to start with the base of the egg and make a circle. So to do that, we're going to do 6 single crochets into the first chain. So we're going to insert the hook into the first chain and do 1 single crochet, and then we're going to do another 5 single crochets into that same hole. Now we're going to do an increase stitch into each of those 6 stitches. So in case you don't know, to increase, we're going to insert the hook into the stitch, pull a loop through, and then pull the wool through. So that's just 1 single crochet, and then we do another single crochet back into that same hole, meaning we've done 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. We're going to do that for the other 5 stitches around the circle. So that's 5 more times. You should now have 12 stitches going around the circle. At this point, I'm going to get some marker string. So I just have a bit of black wool here. I actually have quite a lot of black wool, but you only need a very short amount. And what we're going to do is we're just going to tuck it in between the circle and the wool. So we're just going to tuck it in like so. And that will just stay there so we can see where the row begins. This will be convenient later on because it means you don't have to think and constantly count the stitches. So for the next row, we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then we're going to do an increase stitch in the next stitch. That is going to be a pattern, so we do 1 single crochet and then 1 increase. And we're going to do that for the rest of the row. So that's 1 single crochet and then 1 increase. Single crochet and an increase, and then the final single crochet and increase. So now you should have 18 stitches going around the circle. Now we're just going to take the marker string and we're going, the bit which is on top currently, we're just going to pull it through and behind And as you can see, that will just leave us with this small black mark, which will still mark out the beginning of the row. Now we're going to do 4 rows of single crochet. So you have 18 stitches on each row, and if you're not using a marker you can count, otherwise each time you reach the marker again you just bring it back over, and that will continue that marking out the beginning of the row. So there's 4 rows of single crochet. So that is my first row done, and I'm just going to demonstrate with the marker wool again. First of all, you can turn the crochet inside out. At the moment you've got the neat side on the inside and then kind of the scruffy side, or at least that's what I like to call it, on the outside. So we're just going to push the middle through and up, and that brings the nice smooth and neat side onto the visible side of the egg. And then taking the bit of marker wool, we're just going to pull that forward so it's sticking out the front again before we continue with row 2. And that is row 2 complete. So again, just putting the marker wool out the back of the crochet this time, and continue for row 3. And that's row 3 done, so we're going to bring the wool back forward. This marker wool forward. I know I'm focusing on the marker wool quite a lot, but the rest of it is pretty simple. We're just doing normal straight crochet, and this is the final row. And that is row 4 complete. So now we're going to start decreasing for the top of the egg. Going to pull the marker wool through to behind the wool again. Just behind the egg, out the back is what I mean to say. Now for this row we're going to do 1 single crochet, followed by a decrease stitch. So if you're not sure how to do this, we insert the hook into the next stitch and we pull 1 loop through, and then we insert the hook into the next stitch as well and pull a loop through that stitch. We then pull the wool through all of the loops, and that brings the 2 stitches we just pulled loops through into 1 stitch. So we're now going to repeat what we've just done for the last 2 stitches. So that's 1 single crochet and then a decrease stitch. Then going to do another single crochet and then a decrease stitch. And we're going to repeat that pattern until we get to the end. So the pattern is 1 single crochet and a decrease stitch. At this point you should have 12 stitches going around your egg. We're now going to do 3 rows of single crochet. Just remember to continue to use the marker wool to mark the beginning of the row. That is row 1 out of 3. Pull the marker wool through, and we're starting row 2. And that is row 2 complete, so we're going to pull the marker wool across for the last time and do the final 12 stitches. So this is the last single crochet row. And that is the last single crochet row complete. So we do still have one more row to do, but before we do that, we're going to stuff the egg. So I'm just going to open the egg up. You can see there's plenty of room inside, and grab the stuffing which we put aside from earlier. Just take a bit of stuffing. I always like to kind of fluff the stuffing up, you can say. I'm not really sure how you explain it, but you just kind of pull it apart a bit and make it nice and soft so there's no lumps. And then you just simply push that into the egg. It's your choice how much you stuff the egg. I'm not going to stuff mine too much, but it could do with a little bit more than that. There we go. And once you've stuffed the egg, or before you stuff the egg, you can also pull out the marker wool, as that will not be needed anymore. And so now you have a beautiful clean egg without any lines going through it. So we're now going to do the final row and just finish up the top of the egg. To do the final row, we're just going to decrease every stitch. So that's 6 decreased stitches. So we're just going to insert the hook into the next stitch and do exactly what we did before. Pull one loop through and then pull a loop through of the next stitch and pull the wool through all 3 of those loops. And we're going to do that 5 more times. That will close up the top of the egg. There will still be a very small hole there, but we will deal with that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the wool. You just want a decent amount of wool. Going to go about that much. Now once you've cut the wool, we're just going to insert the hook into the next stitch and pull this wool, and we're just going to pull it all the way through and pull it tight. So that will just cast off the crochet so it doesn't unravel. And to sew it up, we're just going to get this wool and sew the top up basically. So what you can do is you can weave the wool in and out of the top stitches and then pull it tight, and that will pull it all together, but you end up with kind of like a flower at the top because you still see these stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hook through the outside half of one of the stitches. I'll zoom it in so you can see. Put my hook through the outside half of one of the stitches, and then the outside half of one on the opposite side, and then pull the wool through. I will then repeat this at the other angle, so I'll go into another half of the stitch, and then again on the other side, and I will just pull that through there. And that closes it up seamlessly, so you don't even notice unless you know it's there. So then I'm just going to wrap the wool around the edge a few times. I'm literally just inserting my hook into the edges, pulling the wool through. That just kind of secures the wool and makes sure it's not going to unravel the sewing. Although the crochet itself will not unravel, that's impossible, which is always great to know. And so once you've done that, you can cut the wool nice and short and just push it into the egg. And there we have the completed Easter egg. Now, this egg complements a crocheted chick I made recently. The Easter chick video did very well, so I thought I'd come and do an egg. And if you want to go and make a chick to come out of the egg, then go and watch the Easter chick video. That will be linked at the end, and it'll also be down in the description. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please like and subscribe, and comment any questions or anything else you would like to see me make in the comments below. Thanks for watching.